Hello everyone. Just wanted to take a minute to welcome you to today's lesson. In today's lesson, we will be discussing powers, exponents, and bases. Your objective for today's lesson is that you will be able to expand and simplify an exponent. We'll begin our lesson today by exploring what a power is. In the box below, we have an example power that is written as 3 to the x. A power has two parts. The first part is what we refer to as the exponent, and the second part is what we refer to as the base. These two parts work together to form a power. Now, what the exponent tells you is how many times to multiply the base by itself. And the base is the number that's going to be multiplied a repeated number of times. So, in this situation, if we were to say that x was equal to 2, then what that would tell us is that we would have 3 to the second power. Since 3 is our base and 2 is our exponent, 3 to the second really just means 3 times 3. 3 multiplied by itself 2 times. And of course, 3 to the third is really equal to 9. Let's explore this in a little bit more depth. Here's another problem for us to expand and simplify. In this particular problem, we see that we have 3 to the fifth power. And one thing we should note is that 3 is our base here and that 5 is our exponent. Since 3 is our base, 3 is going to be multiplied by itself 5 times. So this can be expanded by writing 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which of course can then actually be multiplied together. So using our calculator, if we multiplied 3 by itself 5 times, we would have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And we get an answer of 243. Great. We've expanded and simplified that exponent. Now, one thing we should note here is that this is easy to do when an exponent's power is small, but sometimes that won't be the case. If, for example, we had 3 to the 100th power, I think we can all see that that would have taken a very long time to multiply out on our calculator. And if we make a mistake or count too few of times, we wouldn't get the right answer. So we need to have a better way of evaluating that. Our calculator has a built-in way to expand and explore exponents. And the way that gets done is by using what they refer to as the caret key. The caret key on my calculator is located above the division symbol. It's that little up arrow. Now, most calculators or other calculators have it located in a different spot. On this particular scientific calculator, we can see the caret key is located right here. The way you will typically use this key is, for example, if I want to go back to my original problem here, 3 to the fifth, I would hit 3, and then I would go up and I would push that caret key. Mine raises and gives me an exponent spot right there, and then I can type in my exponent of 5, and this will evaluate what 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is, and we know already what our answer should be. Our answer should already be 243. So by hitting enter, we can verify that that is true, and now we have a new way to evaluate these. So we'll go through and we'll check them by hand, just by typing in the exact number, and then we'll practice with that caret key as well. Let's try a few more over here. So if I had 4 to the fifth power, I would take 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. I'd multiply the base by itself however many times the exponent tells us to do it. So, on our calculator, 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 would give us an answer of 1024. Now, we can verify that that is true by using our caret key as well. So if I wanted to try going about it that way, I would say 4, then I would push my caret key, and then I would hit the number 5 for the exponent. And when I hit enter on that, I see that I get the exact same answer of 1024. Let's take a look at another one. 8 to the 4th. Now, what 8 to the 4th is telling us to do is to multiply 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. 4 times, because that's what our exponent was. 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 gives us an answer of 4,096. And we can verify that that is the same as what the caret key gives us. And again, we see that we get 4,096. Let's look at one last problem together. And then you can start your assignment to work on some on your own. Here, we have a fraction raised to a power. Now, many students see the fraction and they immediately freeze up a little bit. But with exponents, there's no need to be so worried about it. Now, when we see a fraction that is raised to a power, it's important to remember that this is just saying take 2 to the 3rd, which is our base, and multiply it by itself 3 times. So we can rewrite this expression as 2 over 3 times 2 over 3 times 2 over 3. And from there, we simply just need to go through and simplify. Whenever we have fractions that are being multiplied together, you may recall that we just multiply across the top, and then we multiply across the bottom. So if we focus on the top at this point in time, we would have 2 times 2 times 2, which is, of course, 8. So we will have an 8 in our numerator, and on the bottom, we will have 3 times 3 times 3, which, again, came from right down here. 3 times 3 times 3 gives us 27, which we could consider our final answer. Now, our calculator can actually help us with this as well using the caret key. If I were to have taken, and it's important to use parentheses here, 2 over 3, and I raise that to the 3rd power, my calculator can evaluate this as well, but it's going to give us an answer that doesn't look the same in this situation. When I punch it in here, I instead get a decimal. Now, many calculators, and you may well know this, have a way of turning a decimal into a fraction. In my particular calculator, if you hit the math button, which is located right here, and you hit the fraction button next, which is that top entry, and you hit enter, this will transform a decimal into a fraction. And when we do that, we do see that we get 8/27 as well, which would be our final answer. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, please be sure to reach out and seek assistance from your teacher. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.